He told me one day, he said, bought a weight bench. I'm gonna start working out every evening. So I picked up my phone and said, "Hey Siri, set a reminder for 1 year from now to ask Brandon how his workouts are going." Okay, then I just let it go. He was with me when the 1 year alarm went off. We were driving down the fucking road, and my alarm went off and said, "Ask Brandon how his workouts are going." And he got so fucking mad about that. And that made my day. Like that right there was the best fucking thing that ever happened in my competitive life. All right. Well, besides that, Ryan, fuck. Ryan showed up here with a story, but we're not going to talk through that. But I've already got a good story today. So anyway, tell me what you can tell me on the podcast, Ryan.
Oh man, it was an interesting day. I've been down in rural Eastern Kentucky looking at farms, walking back on some farms, and some people moving here from out of state that want to take advantage of the Kentucky way of life to where
pull the ticks off of you.
Not yet, man. I came straight here. That's how I was here today. I left it this morning early and just finished up.
Damn. Well, I'll tell you what. Yesterday, I went out to Carter County, so I'm just dicking around looking for snakes and stuff. And I went to my parents' farm out in Olive Hill. And then I went just kind of driving around looking for good spots to hunt snakes and that sort of thing. And, man, again, just like last week when I went out, 791 ticks on me last night, probably. I felt like a damn, I don't know what. Just something. I felt like I needed a group of orangutans or whatever to pick all the ticks off of me.
God, yeah. That's what I'm afraid of. That's, whenever I go back, because we did actually walk back on the farm, on 2 of the 3 farms. The one that I thought was probably kind of the best, they didn't want any part of it. Had a little too much road frontage.
Oh, okay, yeah. You need to be, if you're going to start a cult, you got to be...
you got to have it.
Got to be secluded. Yeah, that's in the book. I've been working on a book about starting a cult, and I think that's one of the primary objectives is you got to have a piece of land that's secluded from the rest of the town.
To build a...
Yeah, you got to build a whole... I watched there's a fucking Netflix show. I'm trying to think what it's called. It's like Wide Open Country or some shit like that about some religious group that went and started a cult. Fuck, I don't know where it was, somewhere in the Midwest or whatever. But basically, they took over the town. They just found a town that was small enough.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, where they brought enough people to the town to where, and they registered them all to vote in the town.
They end up becoming part of the council and everything.
Fuck yeah.
In the city.
If you can get more people than there already are in the town, you can be the boss.
You can be the town. So,
anyway, I pulled so many damn ticks off me. I felt like Jungle Boy or some shit, one thing I was going to tell you though, and I told you it was good, maybe good talk for here. There's some backstory to this. When I was, 10 or 11 years old, maybe, my uncle bought a piece of property out in Carter County, and it's back up on a hill. He put a trailer up there, and and he had it fixed up really nice. It had a pond out there, and growing up, from probably 10 to 15 years old, something around in there, I would go out to, my dad take me out there, and we'd go fishing in this little pond or whatever. Well, I think in 2007, his wife killed herself out there. And then within 3 or 4 months, my uncle killed himself. Pretty shitty situation all the way around. They had a couple kids. The kids were not yet kind of age. But long story short, when that happened, which was 2007, that property just got abandoned the way it's set. And my first cousin doesn't want really anything to do. You know, he has no good memories there. He owns the property, but he doesn't. I get it if it's probably the property your mom killed herself on.
Well, mom and dad killed themselves.
Yeah,
right?
you don't necessarily want to be there.
Yeah.
So anyway, he still owns the property, and I saw him at my grandmother's funeral, and I asked him, I said, you know, would it be okay if I went out to that property this spring and hunted snakes around a little bit? And he said, sure, go out there anytime you want. It's kind of hard to find. But anyway, it took me a little, I cruised up and down the road, even though I knew exactly where the driveway was. I cruised up and down the road looking for it.
Passed it several
times and finally ended up turning up there. And then there was a tree over the road. I had to walk, I don't know, maybe quarter mile back in the woods up on the hill, and finally walked right up on the trailer, and it looked just like I remembered it from 35 years ago, sitting there up in the woods. It's secluded enough where nobody really, if you don't know where it is, you ain't finding
You're not
it.
getting it. Yeah.
And man, it's a time capsule up there. It's so wild because, like, I don't know, there's some bad juju for me, so I didn't go in the building, the trailer or anything. But I, you know, look in the windows, and it's just like they just left and went to town for groceries and never came back. You know, stereo, still TV, you know, everything just exactly the way it was. Anyway, even though I hadn't been there in 35 years, there used to be a path from the trailer to the pond to go fishing. And like muscle memory for me, I just walked straight to the pond. I just knew the path. I just knew where the path was, even though the woods have taken it back for 35 years. And man, it just looked like it looked. I could have painted a picture of what I remembered it being, and held it up and compared it to what was there, and you wouldn't have. I mean, it was just exactly as I remembered it, and that's so weird that it's not really in town, but it's also not super far out, but it's just been sitting there untouched since 2007, you know? And I haven't been there, like I said, probably since early 90s, 90, 91, 92. But man, it exactly what I remembered it being. And that was kind of surreal, really.
Yeah.
Especially looking in the windows, and like I said, it was just like they just went to town, you know?
It's almost like apocalypse.
Yeah.
You know, you were sucked back in and go, wait a second.
It was a really weird experience for me. And like I said, there's some bad juju there. My aunt killed herself in that trailer. So it's like, I wouldn't feel right going inside, but also the vintage dealer in me
was like,
what's in there?
What's in there from 1992 just sitting there?
Yeah. There's a damn Nintendo sitting there, you know, whatever. Yeah. But I don't know. It felt really weird for me on a whole lot of levels. But that's where I was yesterday when I was supposed to be here recording this podcast with you. And when I walked off of that hill, I got your text that was like, I'm going to be leaving in 15 minutes. Are we still good? And I was like, oh, shit. So, that's how I got caught up and fucked up. And we were supposed to record this yesterday, but anyway, here we are today. So Jarrod fucked up again.
Well, so part of that reason, because for the most part, I've gotten to the point, unless I haven't been messaging because we've been doing much better, but I'd already kind of derailed your olive hill trip earlier, you know, real quickly. Yeah. So I was like, well, he may have had to turn around and go back, so let me see if he's doing good on time.
Well, also, I went out to my mom's house for a minute. She wasn't there. So I was just dicking around looking for snakes and I'm flipping over some boards, and I start hearing kittens. And then something growling at me. I was like, what the fuck have I found here? And then I flipped over another pallet, and there was a damn big mama cat with a litter of kittens. So that was an interesting find. I thought I was going to be attacked by a feral fucking cat. But turns out the only thing that attacks old fat white guys is ticks. So, you know, I'm going to have alpha-gal. Or Lyme disease next week. I'm hammering it.
Are you just trying to give the diabetes a battle partner?
Absolutely. You know, you don't want to be taken out by diabetes. You want a good fucking story if you're going to get taken out. You know, like I think we've talked about this before. I just don't remember ticks being a problem like they are now when I was a kid, because I lived my life in the damn woods as a kid and a teenager, and I just don't remember it being a problem. And maybe I just care more now. But I sit here at this desk. Okay, this is funny. I came home. I stripped down. I'm looking in the mirror everywhere, you know, trying to get all the fucking ticks off of me. I'm confident I got them all, okay? So I'm walking around the house in my underwear. I sat down here in my underwear, and as I sit here with nothing on but my underwear, I find like 20 more fucking ticks over the course of 3 or 4 hours. I'm like, where were you a minute ago? Were you in my ass crack? Where was this thing hiding?
It's like he's distracted.
Yeah,
Attack!
yeah. Where was these some bitches hiding that they just turn up all of a sudden? Anyway, that's been my couple of fucking days, I guess.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because then I feel like it's open game to go ahead and bring out.
Okay.
One thing that I have laughed about multiple times.
Okay.
Laughed and chuckled a couple times today as
Okay.
I'm just driving. You got no cell phone, you got no nothing. You're just enjoying the road.
Yep. Not a cell phone in sight, just living in the moment.
Yeah. Which made me think about, which popped in my head was the the stool.
Oh, yeah. So, I used the stool again last
thinking
night.
of you laying on the floor.
Yeah. So the same thing happened to me last week, and I was talking to Ryan about it, and Katrina was over here the next day, and she's like, "Why is there a stool in your bathroom?" And I was like, "Well, because I don't have a full length mirror here, so I went in the kitchen and got the stool, and I'm standing on it in my bathroom, turning around, looking. You know, let's just call it what it is. You're checking your balls, you're checking your ass crack for ticks, you know." And I can just see myself, like, as soon as I took the stool in there, it's a tile floor, and as soon as I put one foot up in it, the stool scooted. I was like, oh, my God, this is how I die.
This is how you go.
Standing on a stool in my bathroom, falling backwards, naked.
So you said diabetes isn't the way you want to go.
Yeah, no.
Would you be okay with just being found buck-ass naked?
Man, I don't know. Fell off a stool, busted his fucking head open with a tick crawling up his crack, you know? Whatever. It's been a rough week around here, really. I blocked out the whole month of April on my calendar. The only thing on my calendar in the month of April is putting tickets on sale April 15th for the next show. Every Thursday night podcast with you, and every single other day says blocked out to hunt snakes. Like, I was just going to go get up every morning, go fuck off in the woods.
You were going to stick to what you said, right?
Yeah.
Because you said that, you'd worked and you were going to take April and May to...
Yep. Man, it's been one fucking thing after another. It's just, like, I have got very little time to be out fucking off. I went to the snake shack today, and the fire department showed up. I was like, oh, this is bad. Turns out they have to do... They call it a pre-plan inspection on 4 buildings a month in town, which is where they come in, write up a plan that says, hey, there's a gun cabinet here, there's this here, this is the best door to gain entry. They just have to have a plan if a fire breaks out, so they have something on paper that says who to call,
They did it.
what's going on. Anyway, they have to do 4 buildings a month. They showed up at my building today because they thought it was empty, and they could just check it off the list and say unoccupied. And I made them fill out 2 hours worth of bullshit that says this building is full of snakes. They came in, took pictures everywhere. They worked their ass off there for about an hour making notes about what to fuck with and what not to. Yeah, big time. So I spent hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours with those guys today. It's just been one fucking thing after another. I don't know. I'm ready to. I think maybe after the 15th, once I get the tickets on sale for next time, I might just sneak away for a week. We might do a phoner.
Yeah.
Or a
Zoom deal.
we might do a Zoomer from somewhere, from some undisclosed location in the swamp or the desert, one of the two.
Yep.
That'll be neat.
I'm going to Vegas here in a couple weeks.
Wait a minute. What are you gonna do there?
We're going primarily. Well, we're just going out there for like 3 or 4 days. But one of the main reasons we're going out is I want to see Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
Oh, that probably would be cool.
You know, with the wind blowing
Did you get
and everything.
tickets?
Yeah, we already got tickets.
Got them? Okay.
Yeah, we got tickets.
I imagine that's one of those things that's hard to get tickets for.
I was a little spooked, but I think that thing is so big, and it runs like 4 or 5 days a week, and 2 or 3 showings per day. So it wasn't too bad, but it does sell out. But yeah, so that's one of the things we're doing. You know, I think we're going to go probably spend a day like we normally do when we go out there. You know, walking through the desert, doing a little bit of trails and hikes and stuff.
Red Rocks.
Yeah.
So just talking about Vegas, I don't know. Okay, so my oldest son has proposed to his girl. They're engaged. And he sent me a text yesterday that said, "Just so you know, we're going to get married in December in Las Vegas. I don't expect you to come, but if you wanted to, that'd be cool." Does he really want me to come, or does he just want to sneak off and go to Vegas and not have to fuck with anybody?
I think he wants to my perception. I may be wrong, but my thinking is he just wants to go to Vegas. He don't want a fucking wedding. He doesn't want all the shit. But I think he probably wants Pops there.
I don't. I don't know. I gotta figure that out. And honestly, luckily, he and I have a good enough relationship where I'm just going to say, "Listen, do you fucking want me to come, or do you just want, or do you want me to fuck off?"
That's where I would be with a couple of my kids too. It's
but I was trying to read between the lines there, if that's because it seems like going to Vegas and getting married is something you do if you don't want to fuck with anybody. Yeah,
and I think that's exactly the case.
That's kind of his style,
and I think
too.
He's wanting to tell you, you're not one of those people I want to fuck off. It's like. If you come out here, he feels like, okay, I don't have to entertain you. Yeah. You will come to watch me get married, and then you'll go fucked off. Unless I want you to go have dinner or we have drinks, you're going to be cool with whatever he needs or wants.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case. My youngest son has been driving a car.
All right. Yeah.
I'm so proud.
One of his?
He's been driving one of his, and I think his girlfriend's some. I think mainly his little. He's got a little Nissan Altima. I think he's been driving that. My ex-wife showed me some camera footage from him and his girlfriend pulling back into the driveway the other day with him driving. And she said, "Well, that was," the girlfriend gets out of the car and says, "Well, that was interesting." And he said, "Hey, you didn't die, did you?" So I don't know what happened.
That's his baseline. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know what happened while they were out, but that was the key to the whole thing. You didn't fucking die. And besides that, I'm getting the Albatross cars out of my garage. I got the Jurassic Park Jeep out and took it. I'm going to take it down and put it on the Snake Shack parking lot and try to put a for sale sign in it. And do you know the Red Corvette Saga? Have we talked about that?
I don't think we have.
So I have a 2023 Corvette that me and my dad bought together, new in 23. And it started because I wanted one, or he called me and said, "Hey, this was like in 2020, pre-COVID. 2019 maybe." He called me. He's like, "They're changing the body style on the Corvettes. Do you want a new one?" I said, "Yeah, that'd be awesome." And he said, "I'll put your name on the list." So then COVID happened, and then there was a couple years there where you could not get a fucking new car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the time it came out, Dad had been following it so long, it was his car now. It was our car, whatever, his car. Anyway, so I didn't really give a shit. We bought the car and split it. And then it only took about 9 months for Dad to decide he was ready to sell it. And I said, "Well, let me just give you your half of the money back." And I did that. But since then, I've put maybe 300 miles on it,
Yep.
And for the last year, it's been in a storage unit over in Grayson. And Dad went and got it out of the storage unit a month ago, washed it once, drove it maybe 40 miles, and he said, "I'm going to sell this car for you." Okay, whatever. So I think he called this morning and says, "I think I can get you $2,000 less than what you want and sell it today." And I said, "Well, make it happen. Who gives a fuck?" So we're going to sell that car and then probably buy something else to go have fun and play in.
To put it into a storage building and
yeah. Well, I'm on the fence.
between the two of you, drive 100 miles.
I have never in my life wanted like an ATV or anything.
Yep.
But on Easter, I went out to my mom's place, and my stepdad took me on their side-by-side down on the creek bank and just fucking off. And I think I want to buy a side-by-side.
That's kind of wild to me that that very much seems like something that would be beneficial to you.
It would, especially now that I'm old and fat.
The only challenge is that you're only going to one spot, or are you going to start pulling a trailer and pulling it everywhere you
I'd
go?
like to get one you can drive on the road, but then take off-road.
But it's still going to have to be in a central-ish location, right? I mean, it's
I don't know. I think they make them you can drive 100 miles if you want to.
You going to drive it from here to Grayson?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't have a plan for this. I got the Jeep out of the garage, and Katrina and I got it out, put a battery in it. So that's the other part of the story. I own a Jeep. That's a 4-wheel drive. I guess I could do anything in that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it was down at the con, wasn't it? It sits outside there and waves at everybody.
Actually, that one wasn't mine, but the same principle. Mine's exactly like that.
Yeah. Oh, so that wasn't yours?
No,
that was down there?
no, mine was in the garage with a dead battery. I had somebody else bring theirs.
Well, yeah, it's a Jeep. It's not going to get us the same spots that a
side-by-side would.
Yeah.
But I've never wanted one of those.
Yeah.
And I hate to say this, but I've always considered them like the most redneck thing in the world.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun out on.
I would think for looking for your snakes and stuff like that, it would be.
It would. I've always done that on foot. I've just driven somewhere and then got out and started walking back through the woods or whatever. But man, it would be nice like I said, as an old fat guy, it'd be real nice to just drive right where I'm going.
You know what would be good for the diabetes though?
Walking.
The walking.
I'll tell you what, man, walking a quarter mile back to my uncle's place.
Little
old fat guy gets winded. That was quite a bit for me. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything like that? You got it?
Well, I don't have anywhere to actually go. I like riding I think I probably enjoy at this point side-by-sides a little better than ATVs, but I mean, ATVs are nice too, but it depends on what your goal is.
Yeah, I had a lot of dirt bikes when I was a kid. I rode dirt bikes a lot, but not since I was 18 years old or so, though.
Yeah.
But I'd get killed on a dirt bike today, I think. That might be the good way to go.
Do the dirt bike.
Think about it. Just buy a dirt bike.
Well, in ATVs, I actually had a person that I knew whenever I was in Moorhead that was riding an ATV basically on a farm, and this was a good old boy redneck, had probably lived his entire life on ATVs, was getting it a little too hard.
As one does.
Basically just went over a cliff, over a hillside, and died. It's probably mid-20s at most the time.
When I was probably 18 or 19, maybe 20, I don't know. Me and a couple of my buddies, I had a dirt bike. A couple of my buddies had four-wheelers, and we go out. This is out in Olive Hill, fucking around up on top of a big hill. And there was a girl with us, and the girl wanted to drive four-wheeler. And my buddy had a brand new fucking four-wheeler. And he said, I'll let you drive if you want. This girl, within 3 minutes, had rolled this sumbitch down a cliff. We had to carry her ass out of the woods and fucking she ended up fucked up pretty good. Fucking broke, I think, her arm and her leg. I don't remember. Fucked her up pretty good. Wow. But totaled my buddy's brand new 4-wheeler. He's like, that's the last time I do that for, you know. Yep, that sucked. But you can get fucking throttled on them some bitches.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that gives me pause. I know I'm not going to kill myself walking back to, well. The odds are I won't stroke out walking back through the woods, but I could crash something.
I tell you, though, just knowing you like I know you, I think part of what the benefit of you taking the time to do those is, that walking. And I think you would kind of miss part of what helps you relax is the walking and going, oh, there's some rock to flip.
Look at the birds in the sky.
Yeah. Versus if you're riding on a 4-wheeler, you're going to be paying attention and it becomes, okay, I'm here and then I'm going to go here and I'm stopping instead of enjoying everything else along the way.
I did find something on the way to my uncle's walking up that hill that I haven't seen in a long time, and I know a lot of people really like them. And I left the sumbitch so I can show somebody where it's at. I found one of them morel mushrooms. Them people around here are nuts for those things. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
I guess it's some sort of mushroom that I guess people. Son of a bitch! People texting me like crazy. I guess they fry them up and eat them. But anyway, they're highly prized mushrooms around here.
Interesting.
And they're only found like certain times of the year, kind of thing.
They actually have them.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, all right.
So I was going to tell you a little something that I don't think we've talked about this. I know we've talked about me kind of arguing and cussing at the ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. Well, the other day I was kind of working on something. It wasn't quite getting me where I wanted to be, and I was getting frustrated. I just said, all right, let's see how honest you are. Should I just take this over to Claude? And I started trying to see if they would argue against each other. And I was like, to start with, I didn't realize that's what I was doing. But then I was like, ooh, I want to lean into this, which I don't know what that says about me. But I was trying to get to AI models to see if it would turn on it. It did not. And basically it was just like, well, we can get this done. You may have better success with Claude, but I don't think so. I think it's just a blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what? That wasn't fun.
So AI is diplomatic.
Yes, it was. It would not go down my rabbit hole of fighting against.
I have not played with Claude yet, but I kind of want to.
Yeah.
I need to make friends with Claude.
What research that I've done as far as I think they do very different things. Each of them have different strengths. So I have not used Claude either, but I'm thinking about getting it as well, just to have a different kind of model and different way of looking, because I think it does, like for coding and things of that nature, I think ChatGPT is better from what I'm reading anyway. And Claude does a little bit better with long form stuff and, if you're writing and things of that nature. But
I need to get you to turn me on to the AI that builds the apps.
Yeah.
That you were talking about that time, because I have an app idea banging around in my head that would help me a lot. But is that the kind of thing where you can build just an app to manage my life kind of thing? Or there's some different things that you'd explain to me what you're looking for and we can work on that. I think I can help you get kind of what you're wanting, and the good thing is it's pretty easy. I just
the
want
hardness of it is really dialing in what you want and then making it look the way you want.
Yeah, I just want to get something that will manage the celebrity aspect of the convention. Like, once I book a celebrity, I want something that, will. So once you're here, I need to know I need to buy a flight for you, and then I need the hotel room synced up to your flight, and I need, that sort of thing. Your contract deal points in the thing, and, all that kind of bullshit. And I think that's something an app could do for me. Yeah. Because I've been doing it for 12, 15 years now with spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And which works great, but it's a little cumbersome.
Oh, I would think, especially once it's gotten to the size that it is.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's something I want to approach a little bit. All right. I still don't have one, but if you got a question, I'll take yours.
Well,
or have we already talked about it?
Yeah, well, we've covered some things, but I don't find you as a super competitive guy. If you are, you approach it a little bit differently than I think like myself would.
Yeah.
You're probably competitive, but you just approach it. So the question is, what is something that you are weirdly competitive at that would not be obvious?
You're right. I'm not super competitive about a lot of things. Like back in the day, I developed this mentality that I always wanted to be, okay, so I started this with when we were doing the computer thing. I always wanted to supply all my competition because I always felt like then you didn't have competition. You had supply chain or distribution. So I'd always try to somehow insert myself into the competitions business as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not competitive really. I always feel like with business, there's a big enough piece of pie to where we can all get a piece. I'm not super competitive in business. I'm not super competitive. I'm not competitive in sports. Fuck sports. That makes you breathe heavy. I don't.
Is there anything you're competitive against, or something that has absolute no good reason, but for whatever reason you just want to be? And while you're thinking, I would just say I'm competitive about everything.
Oh yeah, I know.
I play against my kids, a sport against my kids. I'm gonna fucking beat them.
Yeah, you never let them win. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just that is how I'm wired. What? No.
So
First off, let's explain the fucking. Oh, I know. Like you jumped on me like, oh, I fucking know.
No. I've known you for years. I know you're competitive against yourself a lot.
That 99.9% of it is me competing against myself.
You want to one up yourself. You want to do better than you did last year or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not. I will tell you the one thing that I am weirdly competitive about, and it's a very broad thing. I have a very good friend, Brandon. I call him my little brother, mainly because he's little. He's a little short guy. But his mom lived with my dad for a long time. And so we were adults then already. He was in his 20s. I was in my late 30s, I think, at the time that they lived together. But anyway, every time Brandon talks to me, especially if it's like something in confidence, like a life goal or, if it's deep shit, I'm super competitive about wanting to prove him wrong or wanting to fuck him up. Like, and the very best example I can give of this is he told me one day, he said, bought a weight bench. I'm going to start working out every evening. Craig's one of his buddies. Craig's going to come over. We're going to work out every evening. I said, oh, really? What'd you spend on the weight bench? He was like, I got a good deal on it. Picked it up for like $400 or something. So I literally picked up my phone and said, hey, Siri, set a reminder for 1 year from now to ask Brandon how his workouts are going. Okay. Then I just let it go. And he said, oh, fuck you, whatever. He was with me when the 1 year alarm went off. We were driving down the fucking road. And I said, and my alarm went off and said, ask Brandon how his workouts are going. And he got so fucking mad about that. And that made my day. Like that right there was the best fucking thing that ever happened in my competitive life. But it's just like, I don't know why. It's just mainly me and him. But he'll do the same shit to me, so, in various capacities. But he's one of the few people I like have that relationship with.
What do you think about him brings that out?
I don't know. I really don't know. So when his mom and my dad started kind of seeing each other, Brandon came to work where we all worked. And somehow he kind of got put under my wing a little bit or whatever. And I became the person that like would give him advice or
you were the big brother.
I kind of became his de facto big brother or whatever. Yeah. And I tell everybody still he's my little brother. But I don't. He's probably the closest thing I've ever had to a little brother, so I think that's why that is.
I'm sorry, but I'm rattled by your dogs wearing each other out.
Franklin has to show him who the fuck's boss every now and then. Just so you know, I could fuck you if I wanted to. Yeah, I'm just playing right now, but I could really put this thing in you if I wanted to.
So is that a reflection of your relationship with the little brother?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Just so you know.
Just so you know.
I can metaphorically fuck you at any point.
But I don't know. He and I love to one-up each other or to fuck with each other. And he's, like I said, he's really about the only person I have that kind of competitive relationship with. Yeah. And it's never real competition. It's just him embarrassing me somehow or me embarrassing him
getting him
somehow.
back out.
Yeah, it's that. Aside from that, I'm not super competitive about anything. I'm trying to go through in my head what would people that are around me a lot say I'm competitive about, but I can't even think of anything that they would say that about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just never had that. I never, like, all through high school or through school, I never played sports, really. I mean, I played Little League baseball, but I was more interested in probably flipping a rock in the outfield and finding a lizard or something than I was actually playing the fucking game. I think I played Little League to make my dad happy, kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know. It's just not. That's just not in my wiring too much, I guess. Never really thought about that. Damn, self-reflection. That's a motherfucker.
Self-reflection.
I am competitive about against, kind of like you, against myself. And it's not really being competitive. It's just wanting to continue to figure out how to further the thing along,
Yeah, wanting to improve.
Wanting to improve things. But I don't really consider that competitiveness. I don't know. What about you? Everything, right? Besides that, what specifically are you competitive about?
Oh, I want to win anything that I possibly start. So, I mean, sports, it is video games, it is board games. If we sit down to play, I want to win. Dixie is just dumbfounded whenever I won't let my kids win. I was like, first time Bryce beat me with tennis. Bryce and I used to play tennis all growing up. Bryce was good. He was good. First time he beat me, he was probably in his early 20s, or late teens. I mean, he was full on adult, but by God, he knew when he beat me. Yeah. I fucking hated it. There was nothing about me that let him do it.
Yeah.
It was just like he finally was like, got over he was better than me for years, but I guess he just finally got over that mental hump. But I think one of the things that I am struggling with a smidge right now that, as we've talked about many times on this, of trying to, be aware of different things and you're trying to have better focus, is that very thing of not trying to reconcile in my head, because every year I want to be better than last. I wanted to sell more properties than this, and now I'm trying to intentionally not do that, and I'm struggling mightily with that. Yeah. And, almost to the point where I'm like, I got to find something else to put some effort into to help me understand this is okay, because I'm doing this intentionally. So it's odd. And I'm sure everybody is like that, that is really competitive, at some point trying to put the mantle down a little bit and go, it's okay, buddy. You can chill out.
I don't know if this is competitive. My oldest son, Jarrod, when he was, I'm going to say 15 or so, started skateboarding. And he was naturally pretty good at it. But he would get focused on doing a trick or whatever, and he would just try it 1,000 times and fall and hurt himself 1,000 times until he did it one time, and then he was done. It's like, I remember I took him to a skate park in what was that? It was in Fort Lauderdale, I think, one time. And Jaron's just his MO. We walk in the skate park. He finds the biggest set of steps in the place. And I bet I watched him try it and fall 150 fucking times and hurt himself bad a few times until he finally landed that jump. And then he walked outside and threw up because he was so fucking tired and beat up. And then he was ready to leave. And that was what he wanted to do when he went there. Instead of skating around, having fun, trying all the little tricks and doing all the bullshit.
He just like, let me get the mountain covered.
Let me get the mountain fucking tackled. And that's kind of who he is a little bit. But I don't know where he got that shit, because I don't know. But that's competition against yourself, I think. That's just pushing yourself.
It's competition against yourself. Now, could push back a little bit and say there's a little bit of you in that. And where the little bit of you in it is, you're very much in the thing to where, and you talk about this all the time on the podcast, is like, ooh, I really want something. I got it. And now I don't fucking mean anything to you.
I said that.
I wonder if there's some relation there.
I said that me and my dad were talking about that just the other day. 6 months ago, I took my dad to Lexington because he found a fucking Lexus he wanted. And nothing to do him. He had to go get this fucking car. He had to have this fucking Lexus. Took him down there. He got the fucking car. He was tickled to death with it. I bet he's put 200 miles on it since he had it, and he sold it today. And I said, what the fuck? Didn't you really want that Lexus? He said, yeah, till it was in the garage. And then I didn't fucking want it anymore. And I said, I can fucking relate to that. You know, I guess. Now, I don't like somebody telling me I can't do something. So yeah, that's competitiveness, I guess. I'll compete against anybody that bets against me.
Yeah,
kind of, you know.
I remember when I lived in Lexington, we'd go play darts, and I was okay, but I'd go with a couple people that were really into it, had their own set of darts, had their little tips and their wings and all that, and we would go, and it would start out as friendly. Let's go throw some darts. And they would talk shit. It's like, and as soon as somebody talks shit to me, I don't know what the fuck happens. I might as well been on the fucking tour. Yeah. And I'm beating them with their own darts, and they're losing their mind. And literally, if we were to go back and play 15 minutes later and they shut up,
they'd have walked all over you.
Yeah, they would have walked. And a couple of them made the comments like, I ain't fucking saying a word anytime I play a sport with you, because it just like I love when people tell me I can't do anything, because by God, I will.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think competitiveness is a good quality?
I think competitiveness is a very good quality. It has the ability to get, like anything, to get,
I guess you got to take it
manipulated, or but God, I think we all need something to compete against, right? You know, but I think competition brings out the best in people. It can bring out the worst, but I think in general, having something to compete for, have a goal, have something that you're kind of striving for, that maybe you have to work to get to be able to do that. Like, like you said, your son would try something 1,000 times. He hit it the 1,000th time. Now he's happy, but that, if he wasn't competitive, he ain't going to do it 999 times, to get to that one.
Yeah. I've just got a text that basically tells me I've been vindicated completely. I was looking at, I can't give away too much here, but I'm doing all the booking for the con this year. And I was, 2 days ago, I reached out about booking a person who is on a TV show. It's a popular Disney TV show, and for some reason I want to out myself here a little bit. I'm not as into pop culture as you would think I should be, so I have to rely a lot on the people around me to tell me who to book. But anyway, I went out on my own. I was doing my own research. I thought, I'm going to book this person, and then I said it at dinner in front of Jackson and his girlfriend and Katrina the other night, and they was like, what the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? And it kind of threw me off, because I thought that Jackson for sure would know. Generationally, it's right in his wheelhouse. And he said, I've never fucking heard of that, Dad. No, I think you're fucking up. And Katrina looked at me like, why in the fuck are you doing the booking if you're stupid? But I just got it. So, of course, maybe this is competitiveness. I sent a text to a couple of people and said, hey, what do you think about this show? And some didn't respond to me, but one just said, "Oh my God, that's going to be so amazing if you can do this."
I can't wait to hear.
So I have been vindicated. Oh, you won't have heard of it. You will not have heard of it.
We do have to remember I have kids.
That's true.
And grandkids.
Maybe.
So maybe I may or may not, but I'd say I probably have a better chance than the average 50-year-old.
Yeah, maybe. maybe. Anyway, I'm thrilled to have been vindicated by at least one person.
That's all you need.
That's all. One person in the world will want to meet this person. So, Anyway. Ryan, I'm just going to tell you, I don't have a fucking question. I can't think of one. I think I've come to this episode with all kinds of
we had good stories. It was a good conversation.
And that sort of thing, but I don't have a good fucking question other than...
If only you had an app that was built for you that would give you a question.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about...
you had setting on your phone.
Yeah.
Yes, I sent you the app that I built for you.
You did?
Yes. All you had to do was tap it and put on your home screen.
Are you kidding?
I sent you instructions and everything.
Really?
100%. Yep.
Son of a bitch. Hold on. Let's see what this fucking thing...
You want to see it?
Let's field test this motherfucker right here.
Right here you go.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, let's see what this is. Generate question. Oh. Okay, well, that's probably a decent question. How did you populate these with your list or something?
So what I did was I basically had AI go out and listen to every single episode that we've done.
Are you kidding?
Look at our transcripts and then generate and put together questions that would fit within the style of our show, categorize them, and then basically just have you hit one button.
Is this specific a question for me or for you?
That would be asked on the podcast. So the questions are in the lane of what one of us has asked.
I like this one because this is going to get into. I like this. I need this. Okay. Yeah. Boy, if I only knew where to get this. Okay. What is a small lie that you tell regularly just to make your life easier?
Oh, God. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a real estate lie, probably.
To make my life easier.
Yeah, like, oh, we can't show you a property more than 17 times. It's illegal to show you a property more than 4 times.
Yeah. So I don't want to tell what this lie is because I use it all the time.
That's even better. I love it. No, tell it.
So
spell it, motherfucker.
Yep. So all right, I am routinely in meetings till about 10 or 10:30. Yeah. So, showing properties will need to be 10:30, 11 o'clock, noon, afternoon.
Yeah. I see where this is going.
Yeah. So I am routinely in meetings.
Yeah.
There are times that I'm in meetings. Would I say that I'm routinely?
Okay.
Maybe not.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. I'm also routinely in meetings till 10:30 or 11 o'clock. Yes. I'm tied up till about 11 in the morning. Yeah.
On a Zoom call.
Yep. I did that today. People will tell you that I routinely over-exaggerate things. And my dad did it to me this morning, and it pissed me off. But then I realized I do that same shit. He called me, and I guess he had called me. Well, I tell you, he had called me exactly 3 times, and I hadn't answered. And to my dad, that is the worst fucking thing in the world.
Yep.
Is not to answer your phone. So I called him back. I was asleep. God damn it.
Yep.
He called me too early. I slept in this morning.
Yep.
Anyway. I said, "What's up?" He said, "It's about time your goddamn phone started working." And I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Yeah, I've called you 30 fucking times." 30. And I looked. I said, "You've called me exactly 3 times, Dad." And he said,
calling you straight for 3 months and you won't answer.
Yeah. But I know I do that myself a lot of times. The girls will always laugh and say, it was like the second year of the con. Admissions had slowed down a little bit later in the day, and some of the girls had taken a break and just went out and were exploring the show or whatever. And I guess I got on the radio and said, "Are we going to get anybody in admissions? There's a horde of people out here waiting to get in." And so I guess Karen and a few others went on back to admissions and got everybody squared away. And they said a horde is now officially 8 fucking people. That's how many people were backed up in line. You know, so they all give me shit still to this day. They'll say, "Was there a horde of them?" or whatever. But I'm bad to exaggerate things. But the morning meeting is definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got out of bed at the crack of noon today. I don't know why I slept so long today. I know what it was. I turned my alarm off. I try to commit to when my alarm goes off, I get the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because if I turn it off, all bets are off. I might not wake up for another 6 fucking hours. And I had a 9:30 alarm this morning, but I turned it off, and about 10 till noon, my ass woke up and went, "Oh shit."
That's wild because I used to have to set alarms, and then I have kind of got myself in a rhythm. I am up. I can't tell you the last time. I'm sure it had to do with alcohol on a vacation or something like that I slept past 10 o'clock. I mean, I am usually awake earlier than that, but there's a certain process of needing to get the mental brain.
What time do you go to bed?
Usually, I'm usually asleep before 2 o'clock, but I'm never asleep earlier than probably midnight.
Okay. So you're just one of these people that functions pretty well on 6 or 7 hours of sleep.
I've been tracking, that, and I've been sleeping about 7 hours, 7.5 hours is what I typically get. And I don't set an alarm unless I got a meeting. Now there's numerous days that I have meetings, so there are times, but I never set an alarm unless I have those meetings because I just naturally wake up and I'm more rested and feel better.
So back when I worked a regular job and had to, be at work at 6 a.m. every morning, I would wake up 5 minutes before my alarm went off any given day. It was just
it's that mental
pre-programmed for it.
Yep.
But man, since I don't really have to get up for anything, I've really let my sleep schedule get the best of me, especially since in the last week and a half since the con. Like, I have not really committed to doing anything.
What, in fairness, your body needed that
but
leading up to
I need to get back to getting up early because snake hunting's better earlier in the morning. So, and that's, by the way, you brought Dixie down to the reptile place the other day. I want to know when y'all left, what was her takeaway from that?
She was in heaven.
Was
she?
Okay.
Absolutely loved it. She is, I was like, because originally I was going to see you tomorrow. And she's like, well, make sure he knows how much I appreciate that. I really do, appreciate him letting us come down. And I was like, I'll let him know. And she just kept going almost to the point where like we were little strangers. And like, I was like, so then I started thinking, well, shit, do I need to message him like multiple times and tell him we were thank you? I was like, no. I was like, wait. It's like, I think he would get the gesture if I wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine.
But she has mentioned it. So now she absolutely loved it. I mean, she loves Katrina too. So I mean, it was the one little dude that was there that, I mean, he was
Davin,
he was just a plethora of knowledge. So
he cleans cages for me. Davin's a good kid.
Yeah.
And he really enjoys talking to people about snakes.
Yes.
I'm like very I don't get,
Well, and I'm that way. I was like, okay, they're kind of cool. I want to look at them, and that, but I didn't know. I didn't need to know what BXHAJ or I didn't care. Just looks cool. But she was really, really into that, so it was kind of cool to have him there to where he would go down whatever rabbit hole she wanted of questions.
So this is something I've now learned about myself. By the way, my phone's ringing right now. I put up 15. I think we talked about this on the podcast. I put up 15 billboards.
You still getting calls on those? You still got them up? Or I guess that's the cool thing about billboards. especially when you pick rural ones and stuff like that,
they stay up.
They may go. That thing may be up there 2 years from now.
Yep.
You pay your 3 months and it's just going to sit there.
But they're still up. They're all still up now. So I think they expire next month. But anyway, I super regret putting my own phone number on those, because I get so many stupid phone calls that now I've quit answering them. and that's an utter waste of money if I don't answer them.
I will tell you what a good friend I am.
Okay.
At least 3 to 4 times a day,
Yeah.
it pops in my head. I start laughing, and I'm going to text you. I was wanting to see if we get any of them funny bucks. And I'm like, he's probably really getting that call. So I always stop myself from doing it, but you've provided me with good laughter.
Yeah, but I know that was one of them right there. And I just, every time I get one that shows up like, Louisa or Prestonsburg or somewhere that I know I have a billboard.
I know exactly what, I know that feeling.
I'm just like, I don't even fucking want to answer it. But then you think, I spent $15,000 on those billboards, and I'm not chasing every lead.
Yep.
And
that's the crappy thing is every phone call could be the shit.
Yep.
Or it could be the shit.
Yeah. I need to get an AI receptionist to screen them. That's what I need to do. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, I know what I need to do now. All right. Anything else?
I think we're good, man. We covered a lot of ground.
Yeah. We did a lot of measuring on this one. Okay. All right. See you later.
And just like that, another episode of Two Guys, Two Questions is in the books.
We laughed. We learned. Well, we mostly just laughed.
Yeah, and if you made it this far, congratulations. You now have random knowledge you never asked for.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review. Or don't, but just know if you don't, we're bringing back the squeaky toys.
Oh, it's coming back either way.
Until next time, same two guys, two questions, and absolutely no idea what we're doing.
Perfect.